You're listening to the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show. Each week, I'm going to be interviewing top realtors from coast to coast to give you a backstage pass on how they've created their amazing real estate empires and how you can copy them. Hi, this is Craig Proctor, and welcome to the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show. Today, my special guest is Scott Coldwell from Ocala, Florida, right in Central Florida. Scott, how are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome, Craig. Thank you.
Hey, Scott, you are the man in Central Florida. You are the go-to guy. You've got the commanding market share there. We're going to talk about how you get these listings. I mean, you've got more listings than anybody else. You're the number one choice to sellers when it comes to getting the job done and getting the best results. But it didn't always used to be that way. Today, we're going to get you to share some of your secrets, and I know you've got some great stuff to share. So let's go back in time and talk about, when did you first meet with me, Craig Proctor? When did you first meet me, and what has happened to your business since you've been a Craig Proctor system member?
So it was about 5 years ago when I went to Orlando and did the half-day seminar. As far as my life then, my wife had gone there with me. Not too many people know this, and now I'm going to just announce it, but I did do a short sale in my home. Things were tight. Real estate, I think I'd made a little over $30,000 in commissions that particular year. And it was tough, so I followed you, Craig, for probably the last 10, 15 years. And I decided to go to one of the half-day seminars. And it's been a game changer. It's changed my life and, my family's life. So
I know a lot of realtors that are watching this right now can relate to that, Scott. You've heard my story. I was struggling as well. And I think when you struggle like that, and then you've got an opportunity to pull yourself. I mean, personally, I know I don't ever forget the hard times that I was having financially in my younger years. And I think that always stuck with me, and it kept driving me. It's like, I never want to go back to that place again. So thank you for sharing that. I did not know that you were struggling like that in the beginning. So that was 5 years ago. And you've been a tremendous student. When you hear about a new idea or concept, you jump right in. You're a great implementer. Talk to us about how, what's changed in your mindset in your business over the past 5 years?
So I know that, one of the things that you say a lot is you have to change a paradigm, which I say in my office religiously. I think we just talked about changing the paradigm. I talked about it with one of my OSAs yesterday in my office about changing paradigm. And that's been huge for me. Is I was stuck in, I can't hire people to do this for me because they're not going to do it my way. Just hiring people.
So were you a bit of a control freak, would you say? Like you thought you had to do it all?
I was. And my office manager jokes with me now because she's a control freak, but she tells me all the time, you wouldn't let this go before. And now that you've let it go, you're not even sure how to log in there anymore. And I don't want to know how to log in there anymore. It's just, that's your job. That's your task. I can't be focused on all the little details all the time because I won't be able to focus on my big picture.
Okay, so that was a huge paradigm shift. The fact that you need to be focusing on the rainmaker activities and you're delegating a lot of the work. Most of the work that needs to be done is now delegated, which allows you now to make way more money and have more time in your life. Freedom really is the thing that you're able to accomplish. So how many of you watching this are interested in actually making a lot more money, but not spending as many hours doing it? And the other key is you're only focusing on activities, not only that you can change the outcome of, but things that you enjoy doing. So you're able to delegate the low impact activities and the marketing activities, the recruiting, the hiring, training. Those are the things that really drive you and you're really good at it.
Right.
How many people are on your team right now, Scott?
So right now we have about 22 people total.
Wow, you've really grown this out.
Yeah.
Now you didn't go out and hire the 22 people. That wasn't the starting point. The starting point for you was mastering lead generation. So I said at the beginning of our interview here that you are the most sought after real estate agent in Central Florida. Why is that? Tell us about your lead generation system, some of your offers. How do you get sellers calling you every day saying, basically, come and get me, come and list my house?
Yeah, so I mean, a big part of it is our USPs, the Your Home Sold Guaranteed or I'll buy it. Obviously, that's a big one. Love your new home guaranteed or we'll buy it back. So we have that 18-month guarantee that if somebody's not happy with their new home, then we'll buy it back from them.
So that's really cool. Let's look at that one for a second. So what Scott's talking about is, how the market, of course, is really crazy right now and buyers have to make fast decisions.
Right.
And when you buy a house, you never really know whether you're going to like the house or you're going to like the neighbors. So Scott is giving his buyers, 18 months?
18 months, yes, sir.
18 months to either love their house, or if they don't love it, what can they choose to do?
So they can we'll either sell it for free, not charge them a commission, or we'll buy it back.
Provided they buy their next home from you.
That is correct.
Right. So that's an awesome guarantee for buyers. And these buyers, of course, have these buyers that you're attracting have houses to sell. What other unique selling propositions, what other unique offers or guarantees are you making in the marketplace?
So we have communication guarantees. So if you guys know as well as I do, a big issue with going to sellers' houses or working with buyers is, well, I haven't heard from my realtor for 3 months. That's a big deal. So
huge complaint. Number one complaint that sellers have, right? That's why they're interviewing agents like, hey, the last 2 times I've had my house for sale, I've listed, I'd never hear from the agent, I'm chasing them around. So how does your communication guarantee work?
Yeah, so I mean, we offer basically cash at closing if we don't return phone calls within 24 hours, emails within 24 hours. Usually the phone calls happen within the same day. I mean, we have 4 or 5 people in the office answering phones. So if we don't answer that phone, I mean, we answer 99% of our phone calls to begin with. So it's just not an issue. We have systems in place to combat these.
Right, like you're guaranteeing something you're going to do anyway, right? So
exactly.
for those of you watching this, how many of you, like Scott, you would call your clients at least once a week to give them an update, and if they call you, you would get back to them within whatever 12 hours or 24 hours. It's something you do anyway. So Scott's been really successful, just guaranteeing stuff that most realtors do, but the difference is you're promoting it and you're giving that guarantee in writing.
Exactly.
So look at the guarantees we've covered so far. If you're a buyer and you buy using Scott's services, he'll guarantee that you'll be thrilled with the home you live in. If not, at any time during 18 months, he'll either sell it for free or he'll buy it back at market value or a fraction of market value, provided you buy your next home through Scott. Okay,
right.
There's a communication guarantee. If you list your home with Scott, your calls are going to get returned. It's in writing. And then there's guarantees that if we don't sell your home, we'll actually buy it for the upfront written guaranteed price. So these are marketed. How do you get your messages out? What media is most successful for you right now?
So we're big on radio. We're on 4 different radio stations. Some of the local people, 93.7, The Sky, Rush Limbaugh on them. It's news talk. We are on ESPN radio. We're on Easy Listening Radio here. So there's 4 different radio stations that we're involved in. Zillow, I mean, we have almost 400 reviews on Zillow. So of course, that being #1 real estate website, tons of sellers and buyers coming through there as well. Just seeing our profile, seeing how strong we are in town.
Yeah, cool. Everybody watching this, you should Google Scott. Okay, Scott Coldwell. He's Ocala, Florida. Okay, just put in Scott Coldwell, Realtor, Ocala, Florida, and you'll see his you'll see all his Zillow reviews. But if you Google Scott and then Google yourself and compare, so this online presence that you have is massive, and of course that's one of the first things most sellers do, right? And most buyers, first thing to do is I'll just go to Google and I'll start my search there, and boom, Scott is all over the place. Tell us about other social media that you're using that's effective for you right now. So Google My Business, you're huge. Your Google profile is awesome. It's fully optimized. What other ways do you deliver these powerful seller messages to the marketplace?
Yeah, so of course, Facebook. We're big on Facebook. I mean, we have 4, 5, 6 posts going out almost daily, and Instagram. We do Twitter lightly, and LinkedIn, Pinterest. We do all of them daily, and just sending that message out. But of course, you know, Facebook being the biggest, that's where our biggest presence is right now. And again, offers every single day, whether it is you're looking for a job to join the team or seller focused, buyer focused.
Now, running all the ads yourself, now you don't have to mess around with it, right? You've got team members that run all this. So you're going to make the video, you're going to make the content, and then it's delegated to your team. And then these your ads, your messages are all over the place.
Right.
Okay. Now, do you still use direct mail at all?
I do. We send out quite a few postcards. We do the just listed, just sold. Of course, our postcards are, we call it in the office, it's Proctor-fied. So, you know, all of our guarantees, our stats, things like that are on these postcards. It's not just a for sale postcard that you typically see by most other realtors.
Hey, what's your goal for next year? How many homes, what's your vision for next year? How many homes is you and your team going to sell?
So next year, our goal is 400 homes.
That's cool. Everyone heard that right. It's 400 homes. 400. That's a good career for most agents, not 1 year. That's awesome. 400. Okay, cool. So what do you have to do to get to 400? What things do you have to do different or better in the next 12 months to get there?
Yeah. So, you know, you were saying it earlier about building a team. I didn't do it overnight. It is definitely a process. I mean, if you start out with an assistant, and then you get a buyer's agent, an OSA, and then you get an ISA, and then you need another OSA, then you need another admin. So, I mean, just continuing to grow our transaction coordinating staff, our admin staff, our courier staff, our marketing staff, then our OSA staff again. It's a nonstop process, but continuing to grow, continuing to implement the Proctor system. And I mean, that's really how we're going to get there.
And if you're watching this right now and you're thinking, well, that sounds difficult. That sounds hard growing your team. Actually, it's easier than being a control freak and working, 15 hours, 7 days a week. Right. Like we have to choose our pain, right? So staying a solo agent, sure, you don't have, management, recruiting, hiring issues at all, but you're going to stay where you are, and you're just going to keep working harder and harder. And the only way to get to the next level is trading more of your own personal time for money, because there's only you.
60, 70 hours a week.
Yeah. So I want everyone to understand, Scott didn't run out and hire a whole bunch of people at once. He hired his first. And here's what happened, Scott. Because you've really got this drilled down now, like you really know what you're doing when it comes to recruiting and selecting an agent. Part of what Scott and I were talking about, he doesn't just hire anybody that comes along. There's an actual interview process. He uses personality profiling. And once you go through all the steps, and Scott, you're certain that a new team member is going to work, a new agent's going to work well when they partner up with you, then and only then do you make them an offer to work with you, right. Because you spend so much time training new team members, and you want the realtors that partner up with you, obviously, to make a lot of money. The more money they make, the more money you make. So you're totally dedicated to doing a really great, interviewing and screening process, and then onboarding and spending all this time with agents. And let me say this: if you're a realtor in Central Florida and you don't want to reinvent the wheel, you should just call Scott. You should do that. Just a conversation. You may make more money working with Scott, net in your pocket, than on your own. I remember when I was recruiting one of my first outside sales agents, Scott, this guy worked for Remax, and I said, would you be interested? I'd sold this house before he got into real estate, and I noticed he was in real estate and he was kind of doing okay. And I asked him, what did you make last year? He said, I made $100,000 a year last year. Like, why would I need to come and work with you? And I said, but what did you net? Honestly, well, probably 60 or 70. So he spent like 30 or 40 to make the 100. I said, so really, you made $60,000, and he was telling me he's working 7 days a week. I said, if you come and you work with me, you will make 2 or 3 times that. And he did. In his first year with me, he made over 200,000 net in his pocket. And then see, once I have someone like that, now I can promote his success to get more, quality realtors like him to join my team. So anyway, if you're in Central Florida, there's no downside to giving Scott a call. Just say, hey, man, I watched your podcast. You seem like a cool guy. I've heard of your name before. Like, don't try beat him. Join Scott. Like, just a phone call. You can judge on that phone call. You got nothing to lose and everything to gain. So anyway, I wanted to give a shout out because I know you're always recruiting, right? Yeah, ABC, always be recruiting for talent. And here's the thing: if Scott doesn't think you're a good fit, he just won't bring you on board. It's that simple. He's only going to spend his time with realtors that he can help double up and triple their net income. That's right. Okay, so let's get back to listings, right? We're talking about listings. Everyone wants listings. Massive scarcity in the marketplace right now. So what did the other realtors think, first of all, when you came out of nowhere, man? You came out of nowhere and they're like, who is this guy? Who is this Scott Coldwell guy? And they're starting to notice you, and they're starting to notice, and all of a sudden you're dominating. What did that feel like?
It's definitely a good feeling, Craig. And I'll tell you, so I've been selling real estate for 17 years, and I joined, like I said, about 5 years ago, the Craig Proctor system. Before that, I would consider myself fairly successful, but I was that guy, $100,000 and probably netting 60. And I thought I was doing good. And
you probably thought that, well, that's the deal. That's about as much as you can make selling real estate. It's comfortable. You're making $100,000 a year. Right. And you're thinking, well, based on everyone else around here, that's a pretty good living. Now the paradigm has changed, right? You met all these people making millions of dollars.
Right. Yeah. Once you see that and your paradigm shifts and you realize that you need to let go of certain things and put it off. But really, so for the last 5 years, it is a good feeling because a lot of people do like, oh, Scott Coldwell, he's going to listing appointment, or Scott lists another house, and just people, friends of mine, past clients. I see your signs all over the place, Scott. It's like you're killing it out there. It is a good feeling to know that people see your success, but at the same time, just personally, being able to provide for 22 other families and put food on their tables as well. That's probably the most rewarding.
Absolutely. You've made a lot of people's lives better. First of all the buyers and sellers in Ocala, Florida, who use your services, you do a great job for them, make their lives better. And then you've got 22 people on your team that have all benefited from your hard work and your dedication and your wisdom. So yeah, you've got so much to be proud of.
Thank you.
Okay, so back to listings. How many homes would you list, let's say, in an average week?
An average week?
Yeah.
I would have to say probably an average week is probably about four listings.
4. Okay, so on a 5-day week, almost one every day. And generally, are they calling into the office like basically come and get me, or are you still in an interview process most of the time?
Probably 50 to 60% of them are just come list me. They've already done their research. They're just,
That's awesome. So come and get me. They call the office and they say, yeah, we'd like Scott to list our house.
Correct.
That's cool. So if you go to like the local pharmacy, does everybody know who you are? You're at the grocery store. It's like, oh, that's Scott Coldwell over there. Yeah.
Well, I don't know about all of that,
but it makes it easier though, right? When people have heard of you, it definitely makes it easier.
Yeah. I do know a lot of people in town. It's, I've grown up here, so it is absolutely helpful.
Cool. Hey, I asked you to put together some resources to help our viewers do what you're doing. And so what we're going to do at the end of our interview here is in the comment section, we're going to post a bonus link. We've got some gifts actually that Scott has been kind enough to put together. It was kind of last minute. We called Scott and we said, hey, whatever you've got that would help realtors with the listing process. Show us like some of your systems. What do you got to give away? So show us what it is that our viewers are going to be able to download when we throw up the link here at the end of our interview.
All right. So the first thing is just really to try to figure out the motivation of the seller. So I know it's pretty simple, but you see that? There's really
why are you moving? Okay, so some questions that are asked. So when this is either when they're calling into the office or your agents are speaking to somebody, you've got some qualifying questions that the seller, it's like a must thing that these questions must be asked of the seller.
Yeah, you got to determine timing and motivation. Do they need
Right.
to sell in a week, or do we have 3 months? It depends upon, their motivation, where you list it at. Are you going to be more aggressive? Are you going to be a little softer on it? But the first question is, why are you moving? And again, that's a big one. What is most important to you during the home buying process or selling process? This particular one, so we ask all of our buyers and sellers this. This happens to be a buyer. And again, you have to determine the motivation there, but you want to know what's most important. So is it customer service? Is it, I want to get the highest price? Is it, all these things? Again, you want to determine that motivation. Yeah. So you want a 5-star review at the end of this.
Oh, totally. It's such an obvious question when you meet with a seller, what's most important to you, because a lot of agents, as simple as that sounds, like, you might be thinking, well, everybody knows that, but no, not everyone does that. Look, earlier in my career, Scott, I would not ask that question, right? I didn't know, like, I should be focusing on, asking them what's most important to them, because I would be then in my listing presentation, spending a lot of time on what is most important to them. But I wouldn't do that. Like a dummy, I would talk about what I thought was most important, right? So I might spend 15 minutes talking about open houses or my tour of homes. And at the end of it, they go, oh, we hate open houses, right? So it makes sense. Ask the questions so you're prepared to present to the seller what's most important to them. All right, what else you got? Show us the rest of the bonuses.
Right. And then, the last question on there, what needs to happen in order for you to be happy with it? And again, if it's customer service, make sure that you're following through with all that. The next one is, so this goes into our CRM. All right, this is basically just things to keep everybody. So there's a lot of people involved in the transaction itself, if we are selling it or if we're buying it. So we have a couple of transaction coordinators in the office that just oversee everything, but we have multiple systems using, putting different numbers in, keeping track of notes on the file. This just keeps everybody on the same page. If there's a price reduction, if there is anything changes at all, if the sign has been put out, what type of sign has been put out. So when we go there and we pick up our 2 signs and we put 3 out, where's the 3rd sign? What happened to that? So again, it's just keeping tabs on that type of stuff. Pictures scheduled, when they're being done. If YouTube's been done or not, if flyers were dropped off or not, how many, when do we need to check to see if there's still more flyers at the house? Again, it just keeps us all organized, keeps us all on the same page. So if I ever have a question, I don't have to bother the TC. Hey, when did we put these signs out? Were they put out? Seller called and said the signs are gone or haven't been put out. And everybody's on the same page.
So over the years, you've just added to this list and added to the list. Every time there's an issue, like I got to add this to the list, right? So so if you don't want to invent these lists, these systems, remember in the comments at the end of the interview, you're going to be able to get this, be able to download this. Yeah. What else you got?
Yeah, so I've got one more, and like you said, Craig, yes, this is 17 years in the making. Not only that, I have a couple people in the office that are part of our admin team, and they've been in the business longer than I have. So they were able to share some ideas. But yes, as soon as we have, if there's any issues in the office, like we don't know if we put signs out or not, we put signs on here. And I keep throwing that example out here, but this one it's a lot. There's a lot of information on here. These are all checklists. These are, I want dates, I want birth dates, I want anniversaries so we can stay in touch with them.
Cool.
We send out cards every day. Happy birthday, happy 1-year home anniversary. Again, it's the level of customer service what keeps people coming back.
So before we got started, you said you've got a lot of S personality. For those of you that know the DISC personality, that's the S stands for supportive. So you're really big on customer service and organization. If you're watching this, you don't have to invent the wheel. You don't have to spend 5 years creating all of this. Just download these valuable checklists and you can make them your own. But you're definitely going to get some great ideas, things that you're going to think, oh, that's a good idea. I never thought about that before. So make sure you get our free bonus gifts. We'll post them. There'll be a link posted at the end of the interview. All right. Now, tell us a little bit about how this has benefited your life as a realtor, because you have a life outside of real estate. What has this allowed you to do? Because realtors want to know that. It's okay, I build this big team. I got 22 agents working for me. I'm going to sell 400 homes a year. What kind of things are you spending your time on in business and then outside of business for your free time? What are you doing in the community? Tell us how that's changed as well.
All right. And just so we're on the same page, Craig, I just, when I say we, I mean me and the audience here. I do have 10 OSAs that are out selling in the field. And yes, I mean, as of year to date, we're at 212 units sold. So, you know, we're not selling 6, 7, 8 houses a year. It's like, I have a couple people that have 8, 9, 10 houses under contract right now, or in escrow, as some people refer to it. But, you know, where I'm going with this is that we do like the organization. We want people to have days off. I stress in the office all the time, I want a better quality of life for my agents, because I've been there, done that. I did the 70 hours a week. You know, it caused issues between, you know, in my marriage, and I had to find something to correct that. So with that being said, the 70 hours a week went to now 40, maybe 45 hours a week. I haven't worked a weekend in a couple of years now. And my agents, they do, if they want the weekend off, they do get 2 weekends a month off. You know, there's other coverage there. We have on-call agents for the weekend. So you know that if you're not on call, you don't have to worry about working that particular weekend unless you have an appointment, which obviously you can do that Friday or Monday if you choose to do so. But, you know, for the most part, my quality of life has gone through the roof. You know, I've got money in the bank now. It's, you know, I'm able to buy the things that I want to buy, but I wasn't always able to do that. You know, I don't come from much. My mother just, you know, she raised 3 kids. I do have 3 kids, and I just want to make sure that I'm able to provide a good life for them. Family is number 1 in my book, as I hope it is for everybody, but it is, it's been a huge benefit, you know, just to not have to work those weekends, and I'm home by 5, 6 o'clock at night. And again, I get to do the things in the business that I still enjoy, that I do enjoy most.
I'm really proud of what you've accomplished here, Scott, and you deserve it. You know, you're a good guy, good family guy. You worked hard. Things were not always great, and you took full advantage of it. You know, some people don't do that. Some people focus on, you know, where they are right now, and if things aren't going so good, they spend all their energy, you know, thinking about how bad things are, and your present doesn't have to equal your future, right? So you were able to change that up. You invested in my coaching. You've been a Craig Proctor superstar now for many, many years. And you've helped share the Craig Proctor message with agents all over North America. And I want to thank you for that. And I want to thank you for doing this interview, because you're a busy guy. You got lots of things going on. If I am interested, I'm a realtor anywhere, really, whether I'm in Florida or not. And I want to reach out to you because this interview has inspired me. What's the best way to get a hold of you, Scott?
So I'll give you 2 ways. I'll give you my phone number and also my email address. All right. The phone number is going to get you to the office, of course, which is 352-209-0000. And then just ask for me, let them know that you heard the Proctor podcast. And then the second way is my email address, which is Scott, SCOTT, at ColdwellRealty.com.
Right. Or just Google him. He's all over the place.
Yeah, Scott at ColdwellRealty.com. So yeah, either one of those will get you to me, and I'd love to talk to you, and just, you know, you can pick my brain and I'll share what I have for you. And
great. You do such a great job. You're just you're a down to earth guy, and you know, if you're watching this, you want to be inspired. If you have any doubt at all, just pick up the phone and call Scott. Spend a few minutes with him. He'll share his advice. And in fact, you and I were discussing before we got started some of the mistakes that you might have made earlier in your career. Like if you were to do it all over again, what kind of what do you think was kind of your biggest mistake? If you're doing it all over again, what you would do differently?
Yeah, and you know, we had talked about this, and it's definitely hiring. I mean, I didn't hire anybody until I joined Craig Proctor, and I just remember my coach was like, "You need an assistant. That's your first. That's your first goal, is get an assistant." I was doing it all myself, Craig.
You were the assistant. Yeah, you were the assistant, right?
I was the marketer, the courier, the OSA, the inside sales agent, everything. And but yeah, that was probably my biggest regret, is not hiring earlier. Certainly not.
You know what? Almost every successful realtor says that. You know, my biggest mistake was not waiting too long to hire my first people. Now, As far as like on your team, they're not doing any cold calling, door knocking, any of that traditional stuff. It's all inbound leads, direct response marketing, modern smart marketing that you're using at your office.
Absolutely. I mean, I've never cold called anybody, but the way that your system works is that you get everybody picking up the phone and calling you. You don't have to reach out to these people. So it's, with that being said, no, I've never asked any of my agents, none of my inside sales agents or outside, to cold call, to call anybody that hasn't raised their hand or reached out to us first. Nobody has ever door knocked. We don't need to. The business.
Right. So you're not initiating any of this. You're simply returning an inquiry that the prospect's made of you based on the marketing. Either they're just calling you and saying, come and list my house, or you're offering something that they want for buyers and sellers. You're generating a lead, and then you're calling back saying, hey, the reason I'm calling is like you called us first. And by the way, are you thinking of making a move? So it's a very easy phone call to make. Exactly. So for any of you that are doing any cold calling or door knocking, just want to let you know, completely unnecessary. Scott Coldwell is using my ARPS system. What is ARPS? ARPS. That stands for my automatic reverse prospecting system. Okay, ARPS, ARPS, the Craig Proctor automated reverse prospecting system. This is where we use smart modern marketing, okay, across all the media channels, making awesome offers to get buyers and sellers coming to you. And the type of information we offer is really only of interest to real buyers and sellers. Like an example would be, if you go into a barber shop, the barber doesn't have to qualify you. By virtue of the fact that you're in the barber shop, the barber knows you're a good client, right? So the marketing that we offer, that we offer to buyers and sellers is like that. It's things that are of real value to real buyers and sellers. So only people that are motivated to buy or sell are going to respond. And then it's just a matter of building up your team to follow up all the leads, right? So the marketing comes first. Scott didn't hire the team first and then the marketing. No. It was the marketing first, to the point where Scott couldn't handle all the business himself. Then he hired the next person. This makes sense to everybody, right? It's pretty obvious. That's all you need to do. Marketing comes first. You got to learn to be a master at lead generation. So in Scott's company, he doesn't delegate, he doesn't abdicate it, he delegates it. Everyone see the difference? He understands how it all works. A lot of realtors don't. They'll spend gazillions of dollars buying leads, right? They'll spend money on Zillow or Realtor. They're buying all these leads, and they're not even real leads because they're basically scraped information. When you're calling the prospects back, they're not even expecting the call, and these leads are being sold to a bunch of other agents. Don't do that. Learn to be a marketer, okay? Learn direct response marketing just like Scott did. That's what I teach. I teach you how to be your own marketing director. I teach you how to fish. You don't have to buy the fish. And then as your business starts to grow, you're going to say, wow, this works. And we'll show you how to recruit, hire, and train your first person. Starts with the first person. That's what Scott did. And Scott, what you realized is, wow, this works. I'm actually now that I've hired a person, two things happened to you. You made more money and you worked less. And you said, I like this. I'm going to hire a second person. And when you hired the second person, you made even more money and you worked even less. And then you hired your third person. And that's how this thing rolled out. So over 5 years, a tremendous shift in your business and quality of your life. Right. Okay, now, also I want to offer this. If this interview has resonated with you, if you like what Scott and I have been talking about, you like our approach, you can also book a call with me and my team, absolutely free of charge. That's how Scott and I met. I did a free seminar and Scott came out to it. If we hadn't done the free seminar, Scott and I never would have met. We wouldn't be talking here 5 years later. So I'm going to make that offer to all of you. If you're interested in my approach and you'd like to speak to my team and I, it's free of charge. It's not like a big sales pitch. We'll have an honest conversation about what your business looks like now and where you'd like to take your business, okay? Because you have an idea of where you'd like to go with this, right? So the question is what's holding you back? Let us help you identify what's holding you back and give you some ideas on how you can get to the next level to get where you want to go. Now, here's how you book your free call with Craig Proctor. All you have to do, we'll put a link below in the comments, but it's proctorcall.com. It's that simple. It's my name, proctorcall.com. If you go there, you'll go to my Acuity Day Timer. pick a day and a time that works for you. We'll jump on for an hour. We'll talk, have a conversation. At the end of the hour, if you really like it, you think I'm cool, and you'd love to work with me, I would love that too. If not, I promise you this, you'll, even if you do nothing more with me, you'll get a lot of valuable information in that hour that we spend together. Just like our interview here. It was free. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And make sure that you tune in and you watch the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show every single week as I interview top real estate agents, top Craig Proctor members from all over North America. So Scott, give us your contact information, your phone number, just your phone number one more time.
Sure, it's 352-209-0000. And Craig, if I can say just one more thing, if there are agents on here in Central Florida, in the Ocala area, Gainesville, Levy County, those areas, we were just accepted into the Flex program with Zillow as well. So we're going to have a tremendous amount of leads coming in there as well. So minimum, we need at least 5 or 6 more OSA outside sales agents, licensed realtors to join the team. So if you guys are at all interested, you think you're going to fit the mold, you like what you've heard, please reach out to us.
Yeah, it's just a phone call. Costs nothing. There's no downside, only upside. You don't have to, you don't have to build this. Scott has it built. You can just plug your business into Scott's already thriving business, partner up with him. So I want to thank you again, Scott Coldwell, Ocala, Florida, Craig Proctor member, one of the best of the best. I hope everyone enjoyed this interview as much as I did doing it. And Scott, thank you very much for spending your time with us today, and all the best over the next year. We're all rooting for you to get to that 400 transaction mark.
Thank you, Craig. I appreciate the invite.
Thank you. This is real estate coach Craig Proctor, and thank you for watching. Hi, this is Craig Proctor. Hey, I really hope you enjoyed that video. And listen, I've got a lot more information for you to help you grow your real estate business. You see, several times a week, I record new videos and I load them onto this YouTube channel. What I'd like you to do, if you'd like to access them, are 2 important things, and both are totally free. Number 1 is I'd like you to subscribe to this channel. You're going to see a little subscribe button for you to click on. And if you don't already have an account with YouTube, it's free for you to set it up. It's really easy, it's free, but you've got to subscribe to this channel. And the most important thing is to ring the little bell right next to the subscribe button. And that's gonna let you know every time I load new money-making videos to help you grow your real estate business. So make sure you subscribe right now, you ring the little bell, and we'll see you on the next video.